What's up guys, Elfis here, and today we're going to be doing another HoN replay analysis. This time it's going to be of Anas1993, over here our orange player. He plays Hammerstorm. It's kind of a carry Hammerstorm build, which I like. I like Hammerstorm more as a carry than a support, but people play him as both. He's kind of like a Master of Arms in the sense that they play him as a support early and then he kind of transfers. But as usual, well, yeah, I guess as usual, we're back into that little rhythm. Tatty Jangles is joining me.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen.
He is back from France, thankfully. My partner in crime. So we're going to go ahead and jump in because we're both, we have stuff to do tonight. So you ready, man?
Yeah, I am indeed.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so first of all, it's a 1400 game, sorry, for anybody who isn't paying attention to the MMRs. It is also a normal mode game, another thing to note. On top of that, the Legion wins this, the Legion being the team that Anas is on. And on top of that, even though it's a 50-minute game, from the scores and statistics, it seemed pretty one-sided to me. I'm not 100% sure with that. My guess is just that, like with a lot of times, with a lot of games, you guys didn't know you could end the game at a certain points, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was fairly even and you guys just took a huge lead at the end. I'm not sure, but we'll find out.
I didn't actually look at the stats before.
It was.
I was busy talking to you about France.
It was, I don't know, it looked one-sided to me, but maybe I was mistaken. It was a 50-minute game, though, so it can't be too one-sided, I guess, or they would have conceded. Also, I don't fully remember, and I don't want to check, but I think we end up getting a Flint and a Dark Lady on the same team here on the Legion. I could be mistaken, though.
1400, man.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that when we see it, because I don't want to get too into it if it doesn't happen anyways. Let's see, we have Solstice, Flint, Raw already. That's kind of okay. We're getting a few changes, some supports in the 1400. What the hell is
Christ! I was the only person that played support when I was 1400.
Yeah, when I don't think I actually I was 1400 for a little bit, but geez, I never got any friggin' supports. What the hell was that? Yeah, there we go, Flint and Dark Lady. Okay, so we still have one support. So here's how I imagine the lanes are gonna go. We're probably gonna do Ra solo mid would be my guess. Maybe Flint mid, but I would think Ra makes the most sense. And then probably Empath, Dark Lady bot, and Hammerstorm Flint top. It's probably how I would lane it.
Like a support Flint. Sorry, a support Hammerstorm, I
yeah,
guess.
Well, support Hammerstorm would make the most sense, but I mean, looking at his items and his stats, he doesn't really look like he plays support, but we'll see. Just in general, 2 hard carries is not good for anybody watching. I mean, obviously you guys are 1400 and you probably didn't coordinate this very well. It just happens in solo queue and all kinds of stuff. But 2 hard carries is not good. Usually what you have is 1 hard carry, either melee or ranged, it doesn't matter. And then the other one, like if you have a ranged hard carry, usually you'll have a melee semi-carry, or vice versa. If you have a melee hard carry, you'll have like a ranged semi-carry. And that's totally fine.
Sorry, this is actually something we haven't really talked about that much. But playing sort of at the picking phase, when you're in the lower brackets, you have to kind of suck it up sometimes and just play what's needed. If you look at everyone else's picks and then think, what would be the most useful thing for me to be? Like, what would be the most useful hero for me to play in order to win this game? And, I mean, because often you just want to play whatever you want, but sometimes you really have to suck it up and play support if you didn't want to do that, or you'd have to, play any number of roles. Like, there was a few games ago, I'm not a hard carry player. A few games ago, we basically needed a hard carry. I played Mage Bane and ended up getting like 600 gold per minute or something. But like, you just adapt to whatever you're required to play, and it makes it a lot easier. If you don't want to learn that many heroes, just learn Torturer and Master of Arms, and you can. If you master those 2 heroes, you can pick one of those 2 heroes every single game, and you can play any role that you needed to play.
Oh no, careful. Just FYI, you're lucky that Arachna wasn't top. I mean, you shouldn't have assumed she was top. It makes the most sense to put her mid, but if Arachna had been top, you'd be dead. By far, by now. You would have been so dead. You're lucky. It looks like you're probably going to get away. Yeah. I'm like bugging out with this Myrmidon skin thing. I don't know what the hell. It just looks like it's sliding on the ground. It's not even walking.
You went Carp first.
Yeah, a lot of the times people will in lower brackets. It's a good thing you guys worded the poll, although, I mean, you didn't buy the word, Empath gave it to you, which is fine. It's a good thing you worded the poll. It's also a good thing Ra picked up a Guardian Ring, because I would imagine that's going to be built into a Ring of the Teacher, which is awesome. So
Just weird on Ra though.
yeah, it's weird on Ra. You should have been the one to get it, I guess. Although, to be fair, Hammerstorm needs a shield more than Ra does, I think. Except for the fact that Ra actually uses the shield. He builds it into something, but he doesn't like need it for the laning phase, really.
Oh my god, this is like, both sides in this lane are just.
Yeah, I also have no idea why you guys chose to do lanes like this. Did Ra not want mid or something? I mean, he could have... I mean, granted, he would have lost mid against Arachna, I think. That's pretty much guaranteed. Arachna beats almost any melee hero in mid.
Beats almost any hero.
Yeah, she beats a lot of ranged heroes too, especially melee though, because they literally can't touch her with that permaslow. But, I mean, he would have got levels, and that's what Ra really needs. He can farm really well once he gets some levels.
I would have... Sorry to interrupt you again.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have enough mana. Never mind. If you see the creeps, if you see a creep wave is gonna... The last creep is gonna die and they're still standing next to it, just stun them, because they're... Even just for harass, because they're gonna take a hell of a lot of damage from the creep wave if you stun them on top of it. Plus with the follow-up stun from Ra.
Yeah, he's right, but just you need to be aware of when to do that, because if you do it and then they initiate and you guys don't have a stun now, it can be troublesome. But yeah, he's right. You can do that, but just kind of be aware of your surroundings a bit when you're doing stuff like that. We're now completely out of regen before the laning phase even really begun, so that's a little bit disappointing. What I would have...
It's a weird lane, because you can't really comment that much on the positioning, because you've got two heroes on your team that are both melee, both trying to get last hits.
Yeah. You know what I would have done, in all honesty? Your starting items were actually okay for a Hammerstorm, but in this lane, I would have gone Hatchet or Shield, but probably the Hatchet, and then 3 minor totems and some regen, because you needed more regen in the long lane like this. It's not a huge deal, it's just when you have 2 melee...
What would have been even better than that would have been for you to talk to Ra and decide who's taking the farm first, and then decide on your items, because you could have gone for those 2 chalice component items and regen.
Oh god, I just saw these. I'm sorry. I just saw this initiation onto a cursed, and I was like, what are they doing? They're not gonna kill him. And then I realized the curse doesn't have any points in his shield yet.
Wait. Of course he doesn't.
I was like, I just assumed that he was smart enough to know that that skill's awesome, but I guess not. Yeah. And by the way, you're missing a couple last hits here that there's no reason to. You just missed 2. There's a third one that neither of you got for no reason. They're not here to harass you. I mean, especially in a lane like this when you're not going to get many, you really need to get every one that you have the opportunity to like that. It's crucial.
This is a 1400 laning phase. Neither team's getting any less hits. Both teams are getting some denies.
You know, actually, I will say, he played. I did a Gladiator video of his. I don't think you played me in that one. Were with me in that one.
No.
But I did a Gladiator video of his, and he played pretty well as Gladiator. So I'm a bit confused at this. I mean, to be honest with you, he's playing passive because he doesn't want to die. But I understand it
more than anything.
But just so you know, man, it would take a lot for these 2 to kill you. They have literally no damage, like, at all. They have is Myrmidon. That's, I mean...
With a curse that low and Myrmidon that squishy, you don't need to be playing as passive as you are, especially with Ra, who can... If he played properly and saw that a curse was coming in for a last hit, he could easily get a stun off. That's how you want to play.
Yeah, you guys could kill this Myrmidon, by the way. I mean, well, maybe not now since the curse has shield, but if you had noticed that he didn't have shield before...
Well, Hammerstorm has no mana.
I guess... Oh, he does... Oh, I keep forgetting how much mana that stun costs. It's crazy. What are we at? 130. Alright, well, just... I mean... Okay, now I'm confused, dude. What the hell? You built the Ring of the Teacher. Ra has the... okay. So, I don't know what's going on. That's nice stun, nice combo stun. Accursed used his shield already. That's fine, cool. He's too low, he has to go B now. I imagine he's not going to stick around. Not with Ra here, that would be kind of stupid. Also, you guys... Oh, Ra. Wow, he got hit by that... Was that Cauterized that did that much? Must have been, I guess. Okay. Yeah, nice job. Just get these last hits. Accursed isn't gonna hurt you. I mean, if he does, there's no reason he should be able to kill you, but I guess if he does, just be careful. Let's see. Yeah, so like I was saying, you built a Ring of the Teacher when Ra has a Guardian Ring. I could be mistaken, but I don't think Guardian Ring builds into anything else.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it only builds into Ring of the Teacher. So if and it's one of you's two's mistake. That was poor English, but I didn't know how else to say that. So either you built
Use twos.
Yeah, use twos. You two. It's one of your two mistakes. Okay, so either he built that with no plan of building it into a Ring of the Teacher, in which case there's no reason to get that, or you built the Ring of the Teacher and he's also going to get the Ring of the Teacher, in which case there's no reason for you to waste 500 gold on it, because the item itself doesn't provide much of anything. 5 damage. The aura applies to everybody around him, you included, so there's no reason for both of you to pick it up. You know what I mean? The 5 damage is irrelevant, you know. Let's see. 600 saved up. I'm not going to comment on your missing calls. I assume we called Myrmidon missing. Let's see, Arachna, is she winning mid against 13? No, she's not winning that bad, actually. That's kind of disappointing. Is Flint leveling his range? He is not. Flint is leveling hollow point shells. Okay. I don't know what to do anymore. I think I need to I think that I need to uninstall this game. I don't know what's bugging out with this skin for me. It just looked like Myrmidon was doing the worm on the ground. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so I'm just going to comment on this just because there's not much to talk about top lane. By the way, that was a nice initiation onto a curse. Why would you level Hollow Point? There's really no reason at all. I mean, when
he wants less hits against Arachna, I guess. But
no, but when you see, so I'll easily counter that argument. When you see a solo mid Flint, there's one of two ways you can go, and they almost always go the range method. But you can level Flare too. But usually you'll see them max range first because they want to be able to last hit and harass and all that. If you max range first, you can harass the fuck out of Arachna because he has such a short range. Like, there's no reason to level Hollow Point because you can literally zone him out of the lane with your range. If
Ragnar has 600 range.
Yeah, but have you seen Flint's range when you max it?
Yeah, it's like 800.
It's way more. There's no reason that Arachna should touch you at all if you max that. Or for that matter, pretty much any hero, unless they get some pretty crazy support and you don't notice it coming or something. Oh god, I thought you were just about to get spidered and killed, Flint. I was gonna cry. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic.
Myrmidon's pretty low. You can see that. I can tell you want to get in range for a stun.
Don't, because so you guys actually could probably kill him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
wow, that stun from Hammerstorm was pretty short. 2 seconds. I thought that didn't seem like 2 seconds. Maybe I'm just stupid.
The follow-up from Ra wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, Ra not paying attention and taking the stun from the thing. By the way, you guys have a ward here, so you should have seen this Arachna coming up here. So I really hope you're paying attention and not about to
die
get
from
killed.
a curse.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that should be a free kill. Oh my god, please die. Thank you. Now you need to run. Don't turn around at all. Okay, good job. One spider on you would have killed you, so that's good. Thankfully, Arachna sucks at last hitting because by now, at 9 minutes, she should have had completed boots and a whole bunch of... Probably the first item towards whatever she wants to build first, but...
I also prefer steam boots to ghost marchers on Arachna.
I'm on the fence. I don't mind either, really. I like the Ghost Marchers because she doesn't have crazy mobility, but what I will say, she doesn't really need crazy mobility because she has her so many slows, you know, but it's I don't know, it doesn't make a huge difference either way. Let's see, Hammerstorm, we're building... Okay, we just have boots. We have another 660, so I'm not sure what we're going for that we're saving it. I'm a bit... usually on Hammerstorm, not always, usually you would complete boots first, I guess. Unless sometimes you'll see people rush PK, but Hammerstorm has kind of a, like, really not crazy big mana pool, so usually you'll get Steam Boots on him so that you have the mana to use all your stuff, you know, use your spells, use your whatever. Also, you leveled Mighty Swing. I'm on the fence on that. I usually get stats over Mighty Swing on Hammerstorm until the end because without a lot of damage, Mighty Swing is kind of useless, you know what I mean? There's another hero that you do that on too. I can't think right now. Like Forsaken. Split Shot. You don't level Split Shot early because you don't have any damage, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to get it early. It's a similar concept. I mean, I guess it'll help you farm a bit. I'll give you that. It's 15%, but I would prefer the stats. The bigger mana pool, bigger stat pool, all kinds of stuff is usually better. I don't know. Some people may disagree, but that's how I play him. Oh, okay, so we got a Hungry Spirit. So
and either Elder Parasite or the Lifesteal.
Yeah, I'm
get the name Whispering Helm.
Okay, we're porting. Where did you port? Bottom, hopefully. No, you ported top.
This is something I wanted to say about Hammerstorm. My personal build is Ooh, this is kind of a risky initiation on a
Yeah, that was
curse.
a stupid initiation. You should have initiated onto... Well, I mean, not that you guys could have initiated onto Myrmidon in that particular moment, but in general, once a curse hits 6, it's pretty rare you ever want to initiate onto him unless you know you're going to kill him before you can get a single spell off. But
Well, as I was saying about
yeah.
my personal build on Hammerstorm, I like to get after Steam Boots.
Oh no, don't turn around. Stop, don't get stunned. Oh no. Oh my god, no. You let the... Oh, are you going to get away? Oh my god. No, Myrmidon's fucked. No. Oh my god. Oh god, I thought you were going to die when you turned around. Nice job.
No,
Oh god.
anyway, as I've been trying to get to...
Before you do that real quick, sorry to interrupt you. Just so you know, man, you tanked the stun from Myrmidon's Carp. If you stop moving right as it's hitting you, you don't get stunned. Both you and Ra have done that at least once now. It's a fairly slow-moving skill, so it's pretty easy to dodge the stun from it, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, what I was going to say is my personal build on Hammerstorm, which obviously I'm biased, but I think is the best build on Hammerstorm, is you get your completed boots, and then either you go Portal Key first, or if you're going to be really farm heavy, you can go this way first. You get Whispering Helm, and then after you've got the Whispering Helm, you can save up, I think it's something like 2,600 gold. And when you save up that 2,600 gold, you can judge sort of if you're going to be going for a late game or mid game oriented build. And if you decide to go for the mid game rather than the late game build, you can then split your Whispering Helm and get an Insanitarius and a Elder Parasite. And if you think, oh, I'm going to need to build for late game, then you can keep hold of the Whispering Helm and eventually build it later on into a Symbol of Rage.
Yeah. I will say something. Elder Parasite, I'm not a fan of the item, but Hammerstorm is one of the heroes that I like getting it on. There's a few heroes that I like getting Elder Parasite on. The only other ones that really come to mind are, I don't mind doing it on Kronos if you're going to go like Kronos and then straight into a Savage Mace after that. Just because of his ult... Oh, Ra, what are you doing? Oh, God. I'm sorry. Just because of his ultimate, Kronos' ultimate, you don't need as many survivable items because you have the ultimate to get you at least, presumably, 1 free, if not 2 free kills right off the gate. But that's me. Although I do like it on Hammerstorm because of his ultimate. His ultimate gives him crazy damage. Well, I mean, you know what? Never mind. It's not depending. I was gonna say depending on what time of the game you're in, but not really. Also, there's no reason why we shouldn't be defending this as a team. I'm not sure what Blue's doing.
Blue, it looks like he's going to buy a TP.
No. You know what? He doesn't have his ultimate. Don't come, Blue. You're not. I mean, Arachna with, or sorry, not Arachna. Dark Lady without an ultimate this early in the game, you can't really do much. I mean, you can slow, which is really nice, and then the silence is really nice, but.
Yeah, if he wasn't maxing his W.
Yeah, there's no... Well, he's like maxing W and E. It's kind of weird. So, just as a side note, I played Dark Lady a fair amount, not a crazy amount. You never max your W first. You almost always max E, or your Q first. Because it gives you so much damage. On top of that, the silence is nice too, but I mean, the silence
if you
is
manage
static.
to keep hitting them and stagger it correctly, you can silence someone for 8 seconds.
Yeah, assuming you get it... Well, that's a tough little thing to say, because that would be assuming you get a final auto attack off on the very last millisecond that your thing is up. But yeah, technically you're right, because the silence will last 2.5 seconds and the Dark Blades last 6 seconds at level 4. But technically he's right. But regardless, there's really no reason to max W. Sometimes I can see some logic in maxing E because it gives you the attack speed. You know, so maybe people are like, oh, it'll help me farm a bit. That's true. It's still Q is better, but there's really no logic in maxing W. You only use W. I mean, the slow, I guess, is the logic, you know, but it's really not as useful as people think it is. Oh my God, Hammerstorm, please.
If you're having...
Please wake up. Please wake up. Please wake up. That was like the most delayed reaction ever, man. You're lucky. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say you're lucky your team saved him instead, but they didn't even. So that was just, you were right next to him, like literally.
And then you ulted. And
oh, you did ult.
Ran around.
Okay, so he used his ult. I don't care if you use the ultimate. It just doesn't make any sense to put it on cooldown. It's not crazy long cooldown. It's just I don't know.
Just using the ult and not doing anything with it because
Okay, so
obviously didn't have enough mana for a stun or anything.
He got Elder Parasite. Again, you really need those completed boots, man.
Yeah, Elder Parasite is a perfectly good item on Parasite, but not your very first.
You mean
item.
Hammerstorm?
Yeah. Elder Parasite. Elder Parasite.
It's a perfectly terrible item on Parasite. Anybody who's listening.
I want to go and try that now.
But yeah, it's a fine item, but you need boots. He doesn't have a big mana pool. He doesn't have the stats that he needs, you know? And on top of that, he's not a particularly fast hero either. I mean, I guess Elder Parasite gives you move speed, but not for very long, and it makes you take a lot more damage, but...
Yeah, and the main thing is, if you have no stats, not only can you not, like, use all the mana to use all of your things and be effective during a longer fight, but you're so squishy because you have no stats. You don't have steam boots, you don't have a power supply, you don't have a chalice, which obviously will give you +3 strength. You just don't have any stats, and if you pop that Elder Parasite and get focused with literally 0 stats, you are gonna get owned.
Oh, what are we doing? Oh my god, why did we just run in 2v5? Or sorry, I guess it was 3v5, technically you have it. That was so misplayed by the Hellborn team, but that was not the smartest. You had no mana. If you had mana for a stun, I would have seen that.
He did. He actually.
Yeah, but he didn't. He
did okay there. Like, obviously his team wanted him to initiate. It wasn't a good initiation, but like he did. He used all his abilities and items correctly, but it wasn't a good idea to initiate. And you saw how quickly he dropped there. As exactly what we were saying with the lack of stats and having the Elder Parasite popped.
Yeah, and on top of that, I hadn't even really put much thought into that, but on top of the fact that you don't have the stats to begin with, now you're taking 20% more damage, too. That's, I mean, 1,000 health, do you know how quickly that drops when you're taking 20% more damage and have no armor or anything? That's really fast, especially against a team who's pretty much, well, I mean, you took a rally ult to the face on top of that. That didn't help, but, I mean... They do quite a fair amount of magic damage early on. We can get this deny. Somebody empath. Oh, nice job, man. Nice deny. I do want to just note something kind of minor. If you look at the GPM tab, this is how you know it's a 1400 game. You guys are all below 250. And, oh god, nobody killed the spider. Come on, team. Don't... I'll tell you right now, running away from Arachna when you have a spider on you, worthless. You're not helping yourself at all. You're not going to get away from her before she kills you at this point in the game, okay? It's not going to happen. Your only real option... Fail freaking rally. Oh my god. Your only real option... You're dead on that. The only real option is to try and kill the spider and had all 3 of you just each put in 1 auto attack. I think it's 3 hits. Maybe it's 4, but even if it's 4, 3 of you and then you hit 1 more instead. I know it takes a little bit of team coordination, but it's just... You're running away from a Arachna spider at level 10... When they're focusing you, you're never going to get away, ever. So don't try. It's almost guaranteed, actually. This is Torturer. Nice. I actually don't mind Torturer's leveling. Okay. What was I going to say? I had something I wanted to say, and now I've forgotten it.
Oh, I was just going to talk about general Hammerstorm item builds, just so we can just sort of... Because we've been kind of muddling around while I've been saying anything.
You know what? You kind of brought up your item build. I'll just go ahead and mention mine. The way I build Hammerstorm is I'll go boots first almost always. There's rare cases where I will not get boots first. If I'm doing crazy good, I will occasionally get the PK first just because... the only reason I would get the PK first isn't because you need PK first, but because if I know I'm going to be able to save up the 2150 for it without dying, then sometimes you want to take the opportunity to do that because later on you may put yourself at risk of dying on occasion, and obviously you're wasting gold if you're dying trying to save up for it. Then on top of the PK, obviously I would get boots and vestments if necessary. And then after that, by the way, you haven't been carrying a TP with you. I just want to mention that you should always carry TP. But after the PK, vestments and boots, obviously vestments if necessary, I go in Sanitarius almost always. There's rare cases where I will not if we're not ahead. Although usually at that point, if I have a PK, we're probably ahead. I mean, it's kind of rare you get a PK on Hammerstorm if you're not really ahead because he doesn't farm crazy well. He farms okay, but just, not great. But so then I would go in Sanitarius, Soul's Bulwark if necessary, unless somebody else is getting it, of course. You know,
Shrunken head.
yeah, shrunken if necessary, absolutely. Actually, I would probably get the shrunken before the souls if it's necessary. By the way, you need to get the frick out of here right now. Please tell me we're going to port and not try and walk. Thank you. Okay, it's a close one. Yeah, so shrunken before souls if it's necessary, probably. Then souls, then you can build into whatever your team needs. You know, maybe demonic breastplate if you need that. Maybe behemoth's heart. Maybe hellflower if you need that instead. Maybe sheep stick if you just want more crowd control and mana regen. And I don't know. I mean, there's a number of ways you can go with it at that point. Boots first is almost always guaranteed on Hammerstorm. It's very rare you don't. Just
to be honest, I agree with you. It's Steam boots, portal key, vestments, and those should 90% of the time be your first items.
Yeah, I mean the only time...
then after that, it depends on the game, and it depends what you need, and it depends on what your team needs, and it depends on how well you're doing and how well you're farming, etc.
Yeah, I mean I will say the only time I would not really get a portal key is if if my team literally has like probably 2 to 3, maybe 3 portal key players already. You know, for example, if we have like Deadwood, I don't know, like XYZ. You know,
or just good initiation, you know, like Pharaoh or Bubbles or something.
Because if you already have good initiation, then building your hero as a carry makes more sense. So skipping the PK and going for more damage items and tank items and, you know, whatever items you need is usually a better choice at that point. By the way, we're like getting so tunnel visioned on Arachna over here and not defending this tower. Like, that's cool that you guys are going to kill her, but I mean, keep in mind like what you're giving up when you do things like that. None of you have TPs to get down here afterwards, so you're going to lose this tower, I would imagine. And actually, you lost... No, Ra has this ultimate, so never mind. You're fine in that sense, but you still lose... You lose the tower for it.
Oh god, that rally ult, did you see it?
No, I missed it. What did he...
He missed his ult.
Did he try and ult Ra? Oh god.
Yeah, Ra was stunned.
I've seen a couple times now where people... With Rally, I played a game against a Rally the other day. He just like clicked in the opposite direction. I don't know what was going on. It was like not even close.
Yeah,
I was
look,
like, what?
In the chat, raw, lol, nice ulti.
Oh god, oh my god, you like to talk. Don't get mad if you fail. Just laugh it off. It's kind of funny. I mean, sometimes it's mad. Oh, purple, what are we doing? Oh, purple, no. I wasn't paying attention until the end there, but oh god. By the way, this is a comment on Flint's build. Flint, you're going for... I'm assuming that's a Shroud. It can be my only guess. Shroud's okay. That's fine if you want to go there, but an Energizer is fine too if you want to do that too. But you need stats. You need stats on Flint. You need them. I always get at least 1 Soul Scream, if not 2 on him.
You do not need a Shroud, Phase Boots, and an Energizer.
It's a lot of mobility. It really is.
You need some survivability in there as well. Like,
yeah, if you're gonna
stats from Energizer are alright, but you need to get Steam Boots if you're gonna go Energizer.
You know, I will say is he built 1 Soul Scream ring because the Soul Scream ring builds into rally. Oh, he missed it again! Oh god! Oh my god, this Rally. He needs to like uninstall the game. Jesus Christ. Rally, send us a replay. We'll fix it for you, man. Okay, so that team fight was a little bit sloppy. It didn't help that your Dark Lady got initiated on right at the start, and then on top of that, when they were all grouped up, Dark Lady's like, I don't need to use my ultimate, right, guys? I don't know what the deal was with that. She just started running, and literally the cast time on her ultimate, I'm pretty sure, is non-existent. I don't think there even is one. So I think you can literally just like right-click away and just use your ultimate. By the way, Accursed, you're just like looking in nothing, so I don't know what the deal is. Oh my god, Dark Lady. Nice job, Dark Lady. We got that. Oh god, Dark Lady went for entire completed Rune Cleaver before boots at all. Oh buddy, that's not smart.
It's alright to do that if you're going to be sitting in your lane and farming and you're going to just get it really early.
I'll say it's not alright to do that when you have 220 GPM. So
no.
That's not good. But yeah, if you're getting good farm early, you can get by with that. Hammerstorm.
Say you've already won your lane or you're against a suicide or something and you can just sit in your lane and farm, then you can go Rune Cleaver first item just to have it.
Yeah, and by the way, just on a side note that we've already talked about, apparently it was Ra who was mistaken since he built the Guardian Ring and never built it into the Ring of the Teacher. Or potentially he saw your ring and decided not to, but...
maybe he just wanted... I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense
stupid,
to buy it
but maybe
just for the
he wanted the armor. Ra does have crappy starting armor, but... still.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the only logic I can think of behind it, but it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Flint. Just on the side note, I kind of got sidetracked with that team fight, but you know, this Energizer's fine. I built Soul Scream rings on him, so if you want to just spend a little bit more to get the Energizer, that's totally cool. But again, the Shroud is unnecessary as your first item if you have Energizer, okay? I sometimes see people go Shroud first item on him. It's okay in the sense...
Phase Boots Energizer as well. It's
yeah.
not... It's kind of
I actually would have gone... You never get... I see people get Phase Boots on him all the time, and it makes no sense to me. Like, Flint is
so
not
squishy.
a hero. Flint is not a hero you're planning on running away with, ever. It's not the case. If you're positioned incorrectly and they're attacking you, you're dead. That's you need the hero itself is based off of positioning. So you shouldn't get an item that, you know, says, "Oh, well, I can't position myself, so I'm just going to, you know, depend on running away." By the way, you guys are losing a lot of towers. Like, this is like really poor defense. Like, bad. You not porting, you guys. Okay, see, this is, you see, watch, look on bot lane. That's how you guys should be defending a tower. They are doing it quite well. I don't think 4 of them were necessary, or all 5 of them actually were necessary for just you. You need to port out, by the way. If you walk out of this, I'm gonna cry. I swear to God. What are you doing? Oh God. Oh, you're lucky he missed that. No, why did you walk? Oh. Why did you do that? He missed the freaking thing, didn't he? I could have sworn he missed the compel.
Yeah, he did. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't miss it.
Are you sure? I thought he.
Yeah, I'm sure. No. If you rewind it, you'll see the little thing on it.
Oh, okay. Well.
Hang on, I'm on Skype at the moment, dude.
If you hit the.
I'll be down in a bit.
I get it, but I mean, otherwise, then that was stupid. Either way, though, you should have just ported out as soon as you saw 5 of them port in. There was no reason to stick around at all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Decent wording by both teams, actually. I'm kind of surprised by that. You know, despite the fact that apparently, no offense to anybody in this game, none of you know how to farm, though. Like, all of your CKs are really low, your GPMs are really low, just in general, everybody in the game not doing the best at farming. And I'm pretty sure this ward is in tower range right here. I could be mistaken. Maybe they're just guaranteeing they're going to kill the tower. Oh, Dark Lady, why do you not use your ultimate ever? There you go, thank you. That was a very delayed ultimate, but... Oh my God, these are like free kills now. They're super diving. Yes, very nice job, Hammerstorm. Nice job indeed. Unfortunately, you don't have any mana regen. I probably would have built a Blood Chalice in all honesty if nobody was going to get a Ring of the Sorcery.
Yeah.
It's kind of. And did you sell your? You sold your Ring of the Teacher? I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He sold it at that shop at the bottom when he was.
Oh, to carry a TP. Okay, all right. I guess I would have just dropped the hatchet, but that's fine.
He is going for Insanitary, so I do like his build. I just don't like the order of it, and it could have been better thought out. But there's nothing wrong with the actual items he's getting.
Yeah, and on top of that, just a side note, you needed Mystic Vestments in this game. Torturer, Myrmidon, and Arachna. I think Arachna's ultimate might be physical. I'm not sure.
It is physical.
Yeah. Okay, but her dot damage is magic. On top of that, she's.
To be honest, the Mystic Vestments for Torturer and Myrmidon is adequate. I mean, the rest of them are pretty much all physical.
Even just a Torturer would have been. Is Rally's Compel physical? Yeah.
It's physical damage. The stun is magically applied, so it doesn't go through Shrunken.
Okay. But yeah, Myrmidon and Torturer are both full magic, and even just Torturer is almost always enough to get a Mystic Vestments, because Torturer does quite a bit of damage for anybody who sits in her ultimate and impalement. Although impalement's actually physical, sorry.
Yeah.
But
her Q and her E are magic as well.
Yeah, nice cliff walk over by Ra there. I'm not sure if he actually. Well, he must have thought that through. Actually, he must have seen them, I guess. So nice job there. Where are we? Hammerstorm. Okay, so we're sitting on. We got our Insanitarius completed. We need a Shrunken Head. This is like we need it. There's no more. We're at 30 minutes. I'm okay getting both of those items before that, but it's no longer like that has to be your next item. If it's not, we're in trouble. Because
you've already got plenty of DPS.
Yeah.
Hammerstorm's just gives him enough DPS. I mean, you see people even just get straight Shrunken Head, and if they've got enough team coordination to keep someone locked down, you know, they just PK Boots and Shrunken Head, and the damage is insane. So I mean, you've already got plenty of damage and plenty of attack speed. Your DPS is just fine how it is, so I would hope to see a Shrunken Head next.
And just on a side note there, if you had galvanized and ran in, you guys would have killed Rally, and probably killed a lot more than that, because you could have stunned somebody or multiple people potentially. And it's I know you got hero blocked a bit there, but had you galvanized and gone for it, you would have been able to make it in time. So just again, a little bit of reaction time is kind of slow there. It's not a huge thing, but I mean, I guess
Steam boots on Raw again. Everyone knows how I feel about that.
In that Guardian ring, that makes me lol. I will say Empath, I haven't been paying too much attention to how she's playing, but her items and warding have been quite good, so keep it up, Empath. We got that Shroud completed on Flint. He leveled...
He's got a Minor Totem. He's got some stats.
Did he buy that, or did he have that?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, if you bought a Minor Totem at this point, that's a little bit messed up. Dark Lady, working on that Shrunken, super delayed. You know, she didn't get that Rune Cleaver until like 25, give or take.
Yeah. You'll say that Minor Totem's a stupid idea until he escapes with 2 HP.
Yeah, you're right. Then I'll be like, okay, Minor Totem for the win. But we'll see. I don't see it happening, but I guess it's possible.
Empath. Oh, okay, no, nice. Good, well played. This Empath is currently my MVP. Item build, the warding, the counter warding in this bracket is very good.
Holy balls! Did you just see that punch to the face that Dark Lady just gave Arachna?
I did not. I think I'm a little bit behind you.
Oh, maybe. I'm at 35-28.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely behind you. I keep
Okay.
falling behind you, and I don't understand why.
I'm at 35-30. Let me know when you're there.
Yeah, I'm there now.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm 34.
Freaking Dark Lady just Q'd and E'd on her face and literally just hit like half her health in like 2 hits. I just noticed Arachna's items now, but holy shit, would she have 800 HP or something? 900. Holy crap. I don't know how she doesn't die in like 2 hits every time. Go! Hit him with the freaking hammer! Oh. Nice
Hang
job.
on!
Nice job. No, he's gonna get away. Flint ult! Nice job. Nice job. You're dead. Yeah, super dead. Oh, turn off the Insanitary. Nice use of the Insanitary. So a lot of time I'll see people buy it and then they like forget that they can use it.
Yeah.
And then they're just running through fights without it being on. I do it occasionally myself, but yeah. It's just something
We
to
just
think.
had a fucking power cut. Hang on, let me go and turn the main light on.
Alright, another thing to think about, by the way, is that in Sanitarius, you didn't really have much of a chance there, but if you turn it off when you're below, I think it's 350 or something like that. I don't... 25 strength, so it depends on how much health it is, but you know... oh, sorry, 475. If you're below 475 and you turn it off and turn it back on, it gives you 475 health, you know, so just something to think about. A lot of the time you'll see professional players really abuse that. They keep getting low and then they'll like juke through a tree and pop out with 500 HP again and they'll just keep doing it. So it's just something to think about. But I mean, you didn't have much opportunity to use it there. Let's see, 1600 health. We only have 400 gold. It's you know, so you guys are playing it right as a team. You guys have 2 hard carries. You're not trying to push too hard. That's fine. I would like to see a bit different wording. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have this ward, sorry, I had a burp, that ward and this ward. It doesn't make any sense. What you could do instead is, instead of this ward, just throw a ward, and I know this isn't you, this is Empath, but throw a ward here, and then you don't really need this ward all that much. So, I mean, you'd prefer to, you'd prefer to see it better used for farming, so, you know what I mean?
Dark Lady.
Yeah, I mean,
4
if
heroes.
you guys had a ward down here somewhere, you would have seen that coming, and these 2 wouldn't have needed to die. So, I mean, again, look at her just punch that Arachna in the face. Holy crap! Oh, Arachna, Jesus Christ. Jeez, I don't even know what to say. Let's see, Empath, love the items. Okay, so it looks like we are getting that Shrunken Head now. Perfect. Let's see, items for everybody. Flint, looks like he's getting a Shrunken. Dark Lady, we're just about there. About, what are we at? 800? Yeah, just about, well, 700. Just about 700 from her Shrunken. Again, she's really lenient with this ultimate. I'm not sure if she realizes how useful it is, but I don't know.
It means, like, I know, for example, if we're playing in a 5v5 and we make an initiation and then we get Dark Lady ulted, that everyone pretty much just has to fall back. Like,
you can't do anything. You can't coordinate. You can't pick a target. You know what I mean? Because you don't share vision anymore. You can't. And not only that, your vision is very drastically decreased. Oh god, this is a bad dive. There we go. We got a Dark Lady ultimate, but there's no backup. Like that. I mean, you need to know the right time to use it. I'm not saying that she should never use it, but oh, purple so far behind. We do have our Insanitarius on there. Very nice job. Just wasn't enough. You see, this is why you need that shrunken. You guys got stun locked too much. It was well played. I mean, if you guys had actually coordinated the Dark Lady ult a little bit better, Flint. Ugh, Flint, you make me sad, man. Nah, you guys aren't gonna get him. No, not even close. He's a fast motherfucker. Okay, so if you guys had coordinated with that Dark Lady ultimate a little bit better, you could have done something. I mean, the fact that it lowers movement speed is nice on top of that, but I mean, really, it puts them all in chaos. Like, for 6 seconds, they pretty much can't do anything. I guess, like, maybe Rally and a Cursed could, kind of still keep going as they were going, but everybody else, they're too squishy. They need their team support to stay alive, so they'd run away, pretty much. It's almost guaranteed, but, I mean,
it just splits up the team so you can focus someone.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it has a fairly lengthy cooldown, but it's not something you need to be so lenient in. Please notice that is an illusion. Please don't. Well, these two don't have anything that they could use on it anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference, I guess. But again, our wards, they were better earlier. Empath is kind of dropping off a bit. She's trying to counter ward, which is nice. But I mean, don't let it drop off your wards for counter wards. You know what I mean? So. Just something to think about. I mean, I'll give it to you this way. You guys, at this point in the game, it is incredibly unacceptable to not have sight at Kongor at all. Like, you guys literally don't have sight on the bottom half of the map. And this is so bad for you to be fighting when you don't have sight on the bottom half of the map. Thank you. Turn off your Insanitarius? Yeah, okay. There you go. How far are we from Shrunken? Not too bad. Dark Lady does not have it yet with the French toast. Oh, Flint, no, you didn't get shrunken. You got a shield breaker. Oh,
that squish.
Why you do this? Why you make me sad? Okay, Flint is like sitting at just about the same as Arachna. No freaking health. No health, no armor, nothing. I mean, it's look at Flint's items. None of his items give any stats. Okay, with the exception of Energizer. Yeah, I was about to say that.
And that minor totem, man. Don't forget about that minor
You're correct. You're correct on that, the minor totem. Again, we used the Dark Lady ultimate with no coordination. Dark Lady, what I will say is usually I will use the Dark Lady ultimate not as an initiation, but right after the initiation. So probably Hammerstorm and Ra would be the ones. Oh, like right now? Hammerstorm just ran in, hit 4 people with that, or at least 3 maybe. Maybe I was mistaken, but at least 3 with that, again, a whiff rally ultimate. Holy crap. Hit at least 3 people with his stun, which is phenomenal, and then the Dark Lady ult's on cooldown now, so we can't do anything. We have enough for a stun. Yeah, okay, so the Cursed is dead. He didn't even get to use his ultimate. Nice. Yeah, that was really well played by Hammerstorm, actually. You focused the right person. You didn't get too tunnel vision. You hit plenty of people with your hammer throw, so don't worry about that. That was phenomenal in that sense. Okay, there was no reason he should have got away, but that's okay. That's okay. Don't lose sight of the main goal. Remember that the tower is what you really want now. Don't let Rally distract you. A lot of the time what I see is people they'll get 4 dead or something, and then they'll chase one hero all the way across the map, just not even going for towers or anything that they need to. And it's like, what are you doing, man? We need to push this tower. And they're like, I gotta get this tower. Leave me alone. I'm like, no, let him go. It doesn't matter.
Not capitalizing when you have the advantage has thrown more games for me than I'd care to mention. It really has, I mean, if you're ahead and you're not doing the right thing, like you say you just want a team fight and then you just go and farm or something.
Oh, Dark Lady, what are you doing, buddy? Well, they used their invulnerability. If they had invulnerable and then 3 people ported, you'd probably be dead, Dark Lady, just so you know. But thankfully, they're not the smartest group of people, so that's fortunate. Still no Shrunken for Dark Lady. I hope it's on the Courier or something. That's kind of getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous. We are working on an Axe of the Mouth, or sorry, a Behemoth's Heart on Ra. That's nice. Where are we, Hammerstorm? We're back in well, regenerating. Okay. We have a TP. Nice job, I like that. We have not vestments, we have boots. Okay, we got our shrunken head now. Perfect. Now there's a couple of ways you can go with it. I actually know your final item. I know you go for a Behemoth's Heart next. That's okay. In this case, you don't have a Soul's Bulwark, so that should have been your next go-to item. Also, I mean, that kind of worked out coincidentally that Ra ran into two of them, but in general, don't throw a stun, or sorry, not Ra, Rally. In general, Rally's not the one you want to initiate onto, so just a thought. Yeah, that was very, very poorly played by the Hellborn team, but, you know, I'm not going to take it away from you guys. You did okay. You did pretty good, so, but this is, okay, the Hellborn team has just thrown at least 2 fights in a row now. This is kind of getting to the point where I'm not sure what they're doing. It's kind of getting ridiculous. Let's see, we got no mana. See, this is why I like, if you don't have anybody getting a Ring of the Sorcery, you really need, like, by the way, your Insanitarius is still on. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be doing that. I hope you, okay. I guess you were just doing it for the farming. That's fine. But, yeah, I mean, if you don't have a Ring of the Sorcery, you really need a Blood Chalice on him. There's no way around it. You don't have any mana regen. I think he has like one of the lowest mana regens in the game or something like that. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty bad. He's got a very small mana pool as well.
Yeah, that's why you never see Ghost Marchers on him by an intelligent person anyways. You always see the Steam Boots because if you need to, you can swap to intelligence and not only get a little bit of...
At least boot swap to intelligence when you're going to use your skills if you're not going to get any mana regen.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you're walking like this, if you're not killing things, you can use the intelligence boots as opposed to... Also, you guys probably would have been just better off just taking a free Kongor kill after that genocide. I mean, you got a tower out of it, so it's not a total loss, but I think that Kongor kill would have been more beneficial than the one tower, but... I mean, I don't know, it's not a huge deal either way. At this point, Dark Lady's fed up enough, as well as Flint and you, that it doesn't make a huge difference. They kind of have lost the game at this point. I don't... it's not guaranteed they could come back, but look, if you look at the gold and experience lead, 18k gold, 28k XP, that's pretty significant.
Torture and Ragnar aren't going to outcarry Ra, Dark Lady, Flint, and Hammerstorm though.
Yeah, and even if
not with this lead,
yeah,
especially.
Even if they got the items they want, I mean, even if they could outcarry you, look at her items. Arachna has nothing. Like a Firebrand and what appears to be working on a Savage Mace, which by the way is also a terrible item pickup, but we'll talk about it at the end. Terrible item pickup if you only have a Firebrand, just so I clarify that. But like, she has nothing. She dies in 2 hits from a Hammerstorm. Like, ridiculously, like, nothing. She doesn't have anything. She's useless, you know what I mean? And Torturer, fairly useless herself, actually. Pretty much everybody in the team, except for the tanky heroes, being Rally and Accursed, have nothing, really. Oh, Flint. Flint, use that Shroud, brah. Get away. And again, well, not again, but this is the only reason I'm okay with people getting Shroud so much in the lower brackets. Nobody buys Detection. Look at this Hellborn team. We haven't had a single freaking eye at all. Oh, I missed this. I'm sorry. Where are we, Hammerstorm? We're stunned by a Rally. Okay. I like the Empath going inside you every time, but, I mean, we're getting to the point of the game where Empath, you can go into Dark Lady, and it's probably a better choice at this point. I mean, I don't know, it's not guaranteed, but just a thought. Usually the hard carry on your team is the one who gets Empath inside you, but... Just something to think about. I'm not sure if Accursed just showed himself with those creeps or not. I could be mistaken. But if he did, the same thing. Don't let him confuse you and distract you when you should be pushing. So, right now you guys could either Kongor or push mid. Considering how easily you're winning fights, I would just say go push and end it. There's really no reason to keep delaying it. But, I mean, it's not a huge deal either way. Yeah, here we go. We're taking the tower. You can use your hammer on the creeps to push it a little faster if you want. It's not a huge deal. Ra, what the... Oh, he's getting a Frostwolf? What the hell? Okay,
It's alright for a final item on Ra. It's alright.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a little weird at this point, but that's fine. It's not a huge deal. Energizer now picked up on Empath. I'm a bit confused on that, but okay. It's such a cheap item that, you know, you would get it as like your first item when you get an Energizer. You never really pick it up at 45 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. But
It's also, it's not terrible, but it's
Yeah.
kind of not necessary to have
Yeah, you
two on
could've-
one team as well.
Yeah, you could have done better is all we're trying to say. Hammerstorm, porting back, nice job, farming it up again. Flint Beastwood, we are going for a Shrunken Head finally, I hope. I'm assuming that's what that is for.
It's
so.
probably going to be a Savage Mace.
Yeah, gotta get that Savage Mace. He refuses to get any stats, except for that Minor Totem.
Has he still got it?
Yeah, he still has. Oh, no, yeah, he does.
Yeah. I really hope he keeps it for the whole game. That'd be brilliant.
Holding on to that. It's rare you see a 50-minute game with a Minor Totem in your inventory at the end. You guys are a bit passive. I mean, just regen up and literally just stomp down the lane. You guys are, like, if you look at Dark Lady, Flint's, and your items at this point, not counting Ra on top of that, but Ra, too, is pretty farmed as well. You guys are plenty farmed to just end the game. It's, like, at this point, it's done. You guys... There's a reason you guys keep winning team fights, and it's not just because they're throwing, but, I mean, they're also throwing a little bit, too. But
I mean, Torturer and Arachna and Rally, I mean, their whole team is just not even scratching you guys.
Yeah, it's... And now that you have the Shrunken Head, they can't even crowd control you, it's nothing. It's fine to go for Kongor. You guys don't have any wards, so, I mean, I guess you see them all top, so it's okay, but just in general, that's not something you would do without wards, but it's okay. We're gonna give it to Dark Lady, I hope. Yes. Okay, perfect. Purple. Flint. I wasn't even paying attention, buddy. Come on, don't die. That's not it. Whoa! Porting in by ourselves. We are really going balls to the wall now. Oh god. We do not give a fuck. So Shrunken Head's off. You need to be careful here. But their carry Arachna is not working.
Oh my god! Absolutely no fucks given by Hammerstorm.
I guess, I don't know if you guys are just, like, having fun with it now, but you just made quite a few decisions that are just like, what? I mean, it's not a huge deal, but, like I said, at this point, you guys are so farmed, it would take a lot for them to come back. I mean, it's, like, look at Arachna, and I guess Arachna's just done. She's like, I'm done with this, I don't care anymore. Because she's just, like, AFK in the well. So, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Just go and end it. I mean, I know
obviously
you're not.
concede here.
Yeah, we're about to, yeah. Or maybe the creeps, maybe they just let the creeps end it, I don't know. But, oh, Arachna, sorry, we're not AFK. We were just answering the phone, I guess, or taking a poop, I don't know. Taking a poop. Hold on, guys, I gotta go poop. Okay, so, do a little minuscule recap while we're sitting here. Your items are totally fine, we talked about it before. Your order was a bit weird, and then on the top, the fact that you didn't get vestments is also a bit weird.
Should have got a portal key as well, especially considering you don't really have any initiation.
Yeah, I mean, if we had seen a portal key on Ra, I could kind of see it, although Hammerstorm's better initiation because he has a guaranteed stun.
Yeah, Ra's better for follow-up with that portal key, really.
Yeah, if you had both of you with the portal key, you stun, and then Ra PKs in and comets on top of them, you know, combo stun for, I think, total duration, like 5 seconds, something, 4 seconds. Oh, his stun only is 1 second. Okay, so 3.5 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay, 3 second stun. That's still pretty good, you know. And with a rune cleaver, Dark Lady, 3 seconds is enough to kill everybody. So it's just something to think about. She could, you know. Oh God, what is this whole team doing? These guys, I don't think they understand how far behind they are. I don't get it. It makes me sad. This is why I don't like playing this game. It makes me sad. Okay. You can just turn around and attack that. I don't know why. Stun. Kill Myrmidon, because who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. We're not going to kill Myrmidon. Okay. We are just tra-la-lalling all over this place, aren't we? Look at this Flint. Diving base. I do not care anymore. Oh, God. Alright, so I'm not going to comment on the game much anymore, because this is done. So, we're pretty much just trolling at this point. So, despite the fact... sorry. The only other flaw with your items, other than the lack of the vestments and a bit with the order, which we talked about already, you're welcome to go back and look at that. The only other real flaw is that you kind of went heart directly after... pop that Shrunken. Oh, Shrunken's on cooldown. Oh, you're dead, man. That was unfortunate. If you had a Shrunken, you would have lived through that and killed them all, probably, but... just a few more seconds. But the only other flaw is, instead of the heart, it would have been better to get at least the Soul's Bulwark, but Demonic Breastplate in general would have been a better choice at that point. Who's Bloodbath? Oh, Ra? What the fuck? Okay. And you see, I mean, if you look at their kills and deaths now, this is why I said it was like a one-sided stomp game. But I mean, apparently it wasn't. It's just, I don't know, kind of passive. So yeah, so your items weren't super
By
crazy
the way,
brown.
that flint item that we thought was going to be
Oh
a salvage
God.
mace ended up being a thunderclaw.
Uh, well, either way, he does not want stats. That is not going to happen for him. Oh God, this Flint. This just makes me. I mean, this is. I play Flint, so I know how to build him, and this just makes me sad panda all over the place. Stop attacking him, Flint. Why you do this? Oh God. Okay. Recap. Let's do this. So Hammerstorm. We talked a bit about your items right there. The only real flaw in your items, other than the order and the lack of vestments, is the heart. Soulsborg would have been way better, but even a completed just demonic would have been way better on top of that. You didn't really need more tanky. I mean, they didn't really have any damage, so it I don't know. It's not a huge deal. You guys won pretty much either way. It was kind of guaranteed by the point you were deciding on a heart, but I mean, it's just something to think about. Other than that, your farm was, for lack of a better word, just bad, really bad. I wanted to say atrocious, but I don't think it's quite atrocious. 207 CK in 50 minutes. So on Hammerstorm, especially when you're leveling Mighty Swing, you have a built-in Rune Cleaver, more than Rune Cleaver, actually. I think Rune Cleaver is less than 60%. I could be mistaken, though. 40. Yeah, Rune Cleaver is 40. At level 4, Mighty Swing is 60. But, so you have a built-in Rune Cleaver. Your farm should have been higher than that. Reasons your farm wasn't higher than that. Let's go over them. First of all, you missed a couple CK here and there. I noticed that there was no reason to miss them. It's just you just missed them. You just didn't attack at the right time. There was no reason. Nobody stopped you or anything like that. It was just miss.
Laning phase was just weird.
Yeah. On top of that, laning phase really weird. Your lanes were really weird. There's really no reason to do the lanes like that. It would have made more sense to do them the way I suggested at the beginning. But regardless of that, on top of that, you and Ra both got hatchets and were both trying to get last hits, so really neither of you got last hits. I mean, it's you when you fight for last hits, if you watch pretty much any game where people are fighting for last hits in a lane, I can almost guarantee you that a fair number of the time, one person is attacking too early and ruining the last hit for both people. It happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times a support will sit there and steal my CK, and either me or her is attacking too early, and nobody gets the last hit, and it's just infuriating and poor, and there's no reason to do that. So in general, in this lane, I guess I probably would have given it to Ra. I mean, it really doesn't make a huge difference. Both of you can carry fairly well. Um, I, I don't know. It's not a huge deal either way. I personally would have played support Hammerstorm just because it's easier to play support Hammerstorm versus support Ra, but it's okay. Um, Other
Well,
than that,
support Ra isn't even a thing.
yeah, but I mean, he has a slow that's guaranteed and a stun that can be okay if you land it correctly. But yeah, support Ra. Come on, it's the new meta. Um,
I'll tell you what. In the next game, mate, you can play support Ra, and I'll play Parasite and get a Elder Parasite.
there we go. That's what we'll do. Uh, Other than that, though, the only other mistakes I made in the laning phase were at least once both of you took a carp stun, which was totally unnecessary. So first of all, fix that. Myrmidon should never stun you with a carp ever. That should never happen. There's no excuse. It happens very rare cases to me every now and then, just because I decide that whatever is about to hit the spot I'm currently in is going to hurt me more than that stun. And the only rare times that I can think, that might happen is if like a Tempest ultimate or, Kraken ult or something like that is going to hit that spot where you're standing right where you would have to stop. Then it's okay to keep moving and tank the stun. But I mean, that doesn't happen too often. So just keep that in mind. Also, he pretty much sucked at hitting those kelp fields too. He could only really hit the guaranteed ones. Just something to think about. Let's see. Other than that, in the laning phase, I talked about your items a bit starting. It kind of didn't make sense to have Ra go for the ring, and then Ra didn't go for the ring of the teacher, and then you bought a ring of the teacher, and it was all around kind of weird in general. And then on top of that, you went in to ward the pole before Ra had shown up. So I mean, just a few mistakes here and there. Out of the laning phase, you positioned yourself fairly well. Your stuns were pretty good. Your ultimate, you didn't waste it as much as I could see. The only time I could think is that one time that Taddy's probably gotten mine too, where you ultimated and then kind of just walked away. I guess I don't know. You got like ganked and then just like walked away. So That's fine, but there's no reason to use the ultimate. It's not a huge deal, though. Your ultimates were good. Your galvanizes, there was a couple times, I commented on at least one, but there were a couple times where you should have been galvanizing a bit sooner or, whatever. So just kind of keep that in mind. Otherwise, you played fairly well. Your stuns were pretty decent, except for that one where I saw you hit Rally, which you're lucky he walked into two of his teammates in the process, but I mean, in general, there was no reason to focus Rally. I guess it wouldn't have made a huge deal. You probably would have won the fight anyways, but just something to think about. Let's see, 15, 8, and 14. That's okay.
I'm going to go downstairs, man, because it's my mate's birthday, and we're going to go out in a second. So do you want to wrap up the
Yeah, I got it.
thing by yourself?
Yep,
All right.
no worries.
I'll catch you later, dude.
See you, man. So, finishing off. So just for you, the only other comment I would have to make is just to kind of keep in mind that you're not an initiator if you don't have a PK. You know what I mean? So Ra should be the one doing that, and you should be backing him up. You kind of ran in, especially before you got the Shrunken, it was kind of a big deal because you go in to fight, and they just focus you down and kill you because you didn't have a PK, so you were kind of having to walk up to them, and it wasn't really working out all that well for you. So just something to think about there. Otherwise, we already talked about your CK. You didn't waste too much time, so it wasn't like you just had poor time management. It was just really poor laning phase in early game, man. By everybody, not just you. I don't want to single you out or anything. Everybody in this game farmed fairly mediocre. I mean, it was pretty, actually, you know what, fairly bad. I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Fairly bad. None of you were even really decent at farming. And it just comes down to the laning phase. The laning phase sets you up to farm the whole game. It gives you your items to farm the whole game. The earlier you get your farming items, the better you can farm. All sorts of things. I mean, that's why Dark Lady, she took 25, 26 minutes to get that rune cleaver. All right, that's her farming item. That's a lot of time it took her to get that. That's way too much. And she even skipped her boots to get it. She got red boots and didn't even complete the boots to get it. So it's just something to think about. If you have poor laning phase, you're setting yourself up to fail throughout the whole game. But that pretty much covers it for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post below. Moving on to the summary for everybody. Dark Lady, your ultimate. What the hell, man? Use the ultimate a bit more leniently. There was so many times when you could have used that ultimate to potentially, if not guaranteed, save your team, save a tower, win a team fight, etc., etc. Don't be so lenient with it, man. I know it's got a long cooldown, but I play Dark Lady, and it's a crucial skill for winning team fights and kills and stopping ganks and all kinds of things. It's amazing. So you don't have to be so lenient with it. Other than that, your items, you skip boots to get the completed rune cleaver makes no sense because you didn't have good GPM. If you had good GPM, rushing that rune cleaver makes some sense, but still getting boots first is usually almost always applicable, you know what I mean? So complete your boots first. I like your boots. I like the rune cleaver. Then you went for Shrunken Head next, I believe, so that's good. I like the order. Then you got Abyssal, then Frostwolf. Frostburn. I love it all. I might have gotten the... Actually, you know what? Because your Hammerstorm and Rob are doing pretty good too, the Abyssal Skull's fine. I actually would have liked it if Empath got that instead of an Energizer, though. But I'll talk about that when I get there. So I mean, if she had got it, you could have got the Frostburn sooner, and then a Savage Maze or something else next, Brutalizer, whatever. But so otherwise, your items aren't wrong though. Don't worry about it. I love Frostburn in pub games on carries. It's awesome. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you just really pay attention to those ults, man, and your leveling of your skills. We already talked about it, so go back and watch the video if you really want to know it, but I mean, level your Q first. There's no reason to level W first, or E, actually, for that matter. Q is just so much better. Ra, let's see. So I wasn't paying attention to your leveling skills, but I'm going to assume you were leveling correctly. The correct leveling is either it's almost always maxing your regen first, but on occasion you'll see people max one of the other ones. I max the regen first almost always, okay? So regen's pretty good. It's like a free mock, you know what I mean? As long as you're taking damage, which you always are, so it's cool. Your starting items, a bit weird. Guardian Ring makes no sense if you're not going to get Ring of Teacher. If you are going to get Ring of Teacher, makes no sense on Ra. So either way, it kind of makes no sense. Get a shield instead, or more regen, or stats, or whatever, man. It's just not that. Tatty Jangles hates Steam Boots on Ra. I'm okay with them. I don't mind Steam Boots versus Phase Boots. I do like Phase Boots better, but that's just me. I don't mind it either way. Actually, you know what? I guess I'm not. I guess I'm indifferent on it. Either is fine. Helm, love it. The Heart and the Shaman's Headdress, love them both. The only thing is you should have gotten a Soul's Bulwark somewhere in there. So probably after Helm and Shamans, you should have gotten a Soul's, would be my recommendation. The other thing is Tatty will often break up his Helm to get the Heart. You know what I mean? He'll use the Beast Heart from the Helm to get the Heart. We've talked about it in prior videos. I don't care. particularly if you keep the helm and buy a new one or whatever, you know what I mean? Buy a new heart for the helm, or buy a new beast heart for the behemoth heart, sorry. But I see the logic in just breaking up the helm too, so don't get me wrong, either way is fine. He would of course advocate, breaking up the helm, but that's okay. Frostwolf. I would have liked to see, at this point, definitely a demonic if you didn't have it already, which you should have. Definitely a demonic. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to get a Frostwolf at that point. Not that it's a bad item on Raw as your last one, demonic would have been better, you know what I mean? So, other than that, your farming was pretty pitiful for similar reasons as Hammerstorm. You guys were fighting over it in the lane, and neither of you got really any farm in the lane, so both of you were kind of set up pretty poorly. Now, what I will say is you both had really good, well, not really good, sorry, decent GPMs at the end, Dark Lady included as well, but that was because of all your kills and assists, not because of your ability to farm, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's really all there is for you. You were using your comments and stuff fairly decently as far as I could tell, so keep it up, man. Just focus on the farming and your item choices a bit more. Flint Beastwood. Whoa, do I have a lot to talk about for you. So first of all, I don't know why you chose to level your W first. It makes no sense. There's literally no reason to level W first ever, okay? You obviously put a point in it early for the chance. It's nice to have that chance. It's nice to have that proc. It's for harass, last hits, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying do not put a point in that. What I'm saying is put 1 point in it and leave it alone until your last skill to level, okay? Always. The other two are always better. And when you go solo mid, you almost always get the range first because it helps Flint so much in mid because he's fairly squishy. So, if you go in too close, you die a lot as Flint. So in mid, when you're solo, when you don't have a support babysitting you, the range is usually better. But even if you had leveled flared, I would be okay with that. But I would say if you're going solo mid, range first, then the flare, then your W, obviously putting a point in W early on. And probably putting a point in your Q early on too for the slow. The slow is really nice, and the sight, I guess, but primarily the slow. Your items, okay? I already talked about your CK. I don't know. Actually, I didn't. Sorry. So let me quickly go over that. I don't know why your CK is so low. It's crazy low, man. Like you should have had more than that. I understand that you were in a tough lane, so don't get me wrong. But there's no reason it should be that low, okay? Get better at last inning. I know it's really tough to have a good good creep score out of the lane of Flint, I know, because he has such a low attack damage to start. I don't know what to tell you, man. You just got to practice. It is what it is. I think had you leveled your range, you could have harassed Arachnow more and been able to get more last hits, though, so I think it does come back to that. Now onto your items. First of all, we already talked about it. Energizer's fine. Ghost Marchers, there's no reason. Always get Steam Boots. I already talked about it. The Ghost Marchers are not necessary because on Flint, you're banking on your positioning, okay? He's not an escape hero. He doesn't have any escape. There's a reason for that, okay? You're banking on the positioning, so you want to be able to output a lot of damage, and the Steam Boots help do that, as well as, the stats are really nice too, but you want to be able to output a lot of damage just based off of your positioning. You don't want to have to run away or anything like that, because that's not how you're playing the hero. You're planning on positioning correctly and not having to run away, you know what I mean? So you don't need that, okay? The other thing, I should just DND this, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to. The other thing, Shroud after that. We talked about that. You don't need a Shroud if you got both of those already. That's way too much mobility invested in that. You need stats at that point, okay? Then you got a Shield Breaker and then a Thunderclaw. I've talked about it in past videos. I hate Thunderclaw. I hate Charged Hammer. It's a terrible item. It's way too expensive for the stats that it gives, okay? Sorry, I'm talking really fast, by the way, people, but I want to be able to finish this and get dinner before the dining hall closes. So sorry. That is way too expensive for the stats that it gives. There are so many more better items, okay? On top of that, you didn't get a single stat item other than, he sold the Minor Totem. That's disappointing. Other than the Energizer and the Minor Totem, of course. And that's it. You need stats on Flint. You're too squishy, That's why I will almost always get Geos and Frostwolf, because they're awesome items. They give you the slow, they give you the stats, they give you the health, they give you everything. They give you the survivability with the illusions and health and all kinds of shenanigans. It's awesome sauce, okay? Also, you probably needed a Shrunken Head this game. You didn't get one. I'm disappointed. Kind of pretty disappointed, actually. The other thing, Shield Breaker is fine as your attack animation, attack modifier if that's what you want. I like Frostburn, and then I break it up into Geos and Frostwolf better, but if that's what you want, that's okay, but you really needed the Shrunken before that, and you certainly didn't need that Thunderclaw, and I also think you did not need the Assassin Shroud either, so you could have, right after the Boots and Energizer, if you want to go a weird build, you could have gone straight for, Shrunken Head, and then into Shield Breaker, into, whatever, you could go a couple things at that point, you know what I mean, you could get Rift Shards if you want to go more damage, you could go Savage Mace, you could go Attack speed, you could get a wing bow. None of them got a savage mace, although Arachna was building towards it, so it probably wouldn't have been a super intelligent item, but still. Other than that, your items are just all wrong. Message me if you want me to show you. I'll coach you on how to play Flint. I play Flint all the time. I love him, okay? Empath. I loved the wards. I loved your items up until that Energizer. I loved everything about you, man. You were awesome. You actually did get a Ring of Sorcery. I didn't notice this. Maybe I'm mistaken. Did you get that at the end? If you got it at the end, it doesn't make any sense. If you had it earlier, then I'm sorry I missed that. Sorry, people. CK is still too low, though. You should have had at least like 70 or something. Empath can farm decently with her wall and all that, so I mean, there were times, I wasn't paying attention, but I guarantee there were times that you could have farmed a little bit better. That being said, I love it. You were part of so many kills. You were helping out phenomenally. The Energizer just doesn't make any sense at the time you got it, okay? You can get it earlier if you want, although if Flint got one, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to get one yourself, but if you want to get one earlier, that's okay, but there's no reason to get it that late, okay? You could have gone for, Sheep Stick or Cyclone Stick or Void Talisman or XYZ, all kinds of things that would have been better than that. Also, you didn't get vestments. None of you got vestments with the exception of Ra. I'm kind of disappointed in that. You needed vestments, okay? The Hellborn team, I could see them not getting vestments because you guys don't have crazy magic damage. Although you have a bit with, the Hammerstorm stun, Flint ults, Ra, that kind of stuff. So I could see them getting vestments too, but I think it's much less necessary for their team. That being said, your items were okay, Empath. You did a good job attempting to ward. I did comment on a couple places where you should have warded differently, but that's okay, man. Just keep it up. You're playing fairly well, so keep up the good work. Just fix the stuff that I did tell you. Like that's a very unacceptable creep score for a 51 minute game. It's just on anybody, even a support. I realize you're a support. I know it's hard to farm, but there are times when you can farm, so that's not really an excuse. Rally, let's see. So the helm I will say, is you got the Dawnbringer, which is okay, and it looks like you're building into a Soul's Bulwark, which is doubly okay. I love that item. Your boots are totally fine. I actually like Steam Boots on Rally, but that's okay to get Ghost Marchers too, okay? The only real thing I want to comment on is you got a Dawnbringer, but you got the Light Brand last. We've talked about it a bit before. The Light Brand is kind of an item that, makes sense to get, if not first, early on in the game, because it gives you the regen and all that stuff, and that's really what you buy it for, not for the Seer, you know what I mean? So if you just bought it at the end for the Seer, it's not really super important, man. You could have spent that on better stuff, you know what I mean? So just something to think about. I'm not sure why your creep score is so low. I'm just going to quickly do creep score for everybody, okay? Sorry for the lack of organization. Arachna, how do you finish with 120 when you were winning mid? I don't understand. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm confused, man. That makes me want to just give up on people. I don't know, man. A Cursed, that's a fine CK for a Cursed. Myrmidon, that's okay. You should have had, probably 80 to 100, but that's fine. Rally. Let's see. Rally. So that's not enough. Not even close to enough. I'm not sure why you're so low, actually. You should have more than that. I don't really get it. I wasn't paying attention. I guess you just must have missed a bunch early or something. I'm not really sure. Rally has decent farming, not crazy good, but, okay. And if you had gotten the Light Brand, you would have been able to farm even, just a little bit better. So I'm not sure, but that's not high enough. And Torturer, that's not even close to high enough for a Torturer. Torturer needs, 50 minutes. Torturer should have, almost 300 or something. That's not even close. Maybe even over 300. Not even close to enough, man. So you need to work on that. Yeah, okay, so that covers that. Myrmidon, let's see. So first of all, you got Ghost Marchers instead of Striders. That makes no sense. If you want to get Steam Boots instead of Striders, that's okay. Not Ghost Marchers. That doesn't make any sense. Sackstone, totally fine. Tablet of Command, totally fine. Vestments, totally fine. Helm, okay, depending on when you got it. If you got it early, it's okay. I wasn't paying attention to your items so much, so I can't really comment. If you got it early, it's okay. It's not phenomenal, but it's okay. But if you got it late, then you could have gotten something better instead. So just think about that. The only real problem is your boots. They just don't make any sense. If you have the money, if you're doing good, which you weren't, by the way, because your CK is pretty low, GPM is pretty low, kills and assists, not too phenomenal. So you weren't doing good enough to get something other than Striders, but if you were, Steam Boots are the go-to, not Ghost Marchers. Torturer, let's see. Steam Boots, totally fine to get. Gnome's Wisdom, kind of doesn't make any sense. That's like a support item. If you want to play support Torturer, okay. Alright, so we're playing support Torturer, fine. That's what I'm going to base these choices off of. Sackstone, okay. Minor Totem, sure, why not? Investments, okay, cool. And then Life 2, which I'm assuming was going to be maybe a Nullstone, probably. Nullstone would make sense. I can't picture that being a Helm or, I don't think it builds into much else. There might be one other item that I'm forgetting at the moment, but, if it's a Nullstone, that's okay. That's a decent item, but not really a support item. So, I don't know. If you're playing support, crowd control items would have been better. Sheep stick, tablet of command, cyclone stick, or sorry, storm spirit, things of that nature. Accursed. Let's see. So we got a shrunken head. Okay. Steam boots. Okay. Helm. Okay. Ring of the teacher. Good. So these 3 items are good. Then we got a shrunken head. Okay. I don't think it's totally necessary, but alright. I think you could have gotten by getting something else instead, something more beneficial to the team, another crowd control item, something like that would have been good. Tablet of command would have been nice, something, but shrunken I don't think was super necessary, but it's okay, it's not a bad item, so just keep that in mind, I guess. Arachna. Okay, man, where do I start? First of all, the boots are okay. We talked about it in game. Steam boots, I think, might have been a bit better, considering you needed the stats, but it's okay if you want to go Ghost Marchers, it's fine. Then we're going into, okay, now we have a Firebrand. I'm guessing Geo's Bane? That's okay. Geo's Bane is totally fine as a first item on Arachna if that's what you want to go, but complete it. Don't stop at the Firebrand, okay? You got the Firebrand? We don't have any freaking stats. We have a little bit of agility. That doesn't help you survive. Look at her stat items. Nothing, with the exception of this, gives her anything that will help her survive, okay? No, that's not acceptable. She died so easily, it's not even okay, not even close to okay. You needed a shrunken head, which you skipped. You went for what appeared to be starting as a Geos, then you're like, you know what? I don't need Geos anymore. Let's just go for a a Firebrand, and then we'll go straight for Savage Mace? Like, I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Acceptable build. If you want to go the Geos Bane, fine. Geometer's Bane first, Shrunken Head after that. You can go, Lifesteal is usually the go-to animation, or a modifier for Arachna, so, Whispering Helm into Symbol of Rage at some point, but, obviously that should be your last item. The Whispering Helm you can get early, but not the Symbol of Rage. Then, Savage Mace you can do Rift Shards at some point if you want to go there. A lot of time you see Rift Shards on her. You can go a number of items, but, it's just, you didn't live. You couldn't stay alive. You were dying so easy, man. It's just too much. With that being said, though, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope it helps you. Hope it blah, 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 Oops, close that, sorry. Thank you for watching once again. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything of the sort, feel free to ask below. If you notice something I didn't notice, feel free to let me know below, or inbox, or on the thread, or wherever you see fit. Other than that, I think that's all. Yeah. So I will talk to you guys later. GG, well played, guys. Elfis out.